Heading home Tuesday and looking forward to seeing you. Okay, and then she sends me the next message, which is Lynn New says, join the club. Sean, that's a fella, is home, so we sat here with the old vino. Hope you had a good time. Looking forward to dancing the night away with you. Just hope you have not forgot too much. Because I do forget things.
Dancing steps?
Yeah.
Listen to me, dancing.
Yeah.
From hanging around you, I'm getting that sort of, and you know, I realized a long time ago when I went to Mississippi, for God's sake, when I was a child.
Yeah.
If I'm around somebody long enough that has a different accent than I do, I acquire it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, it's such a bizarre thing.
Yeah.
But I remember, like I said, years ago as a child, going to Mississippi. Remember I told you with outhouses back?
Yeah,
and,
I do.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I do, yeah.
But I was down there for, let's say, at least 2 weeks. And so by the time I came back, I was talking like somebody that was born and raised there. When I went to England the first time, I'm there for a week. Towards the end of the week, I'm getting that accent, a little bit different, speaking of English.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. But that's how I am.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm around someone long enough that is speaking English with a different accent, I start to acquire that accent.
It's strange, isn't it?
It is very strange to me.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing, but just a strange thing, a different kind of thing, a different kind of a talent.
Women do it better than men as well.
Definitely. Men are better at math, women are better at language. Now, that's what they say, but, you know, I have to agree.
It's true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. I remember when I used to live here, and then she went down to Miami. And when she used to come home, I mean, she was used to talk English just like me.
Yeah.
English. And the kind of things that you say, oh, fuck, what's this? She would say to the ladies, hi guys, how are you? Now, for a woman to be called a guy, you know, in England, what have we got here? Hi guy. Oh, fuck off, you American bird.
Listen, let me tell you something. So working at the hotel with Maria, the other gal on the head bobbing thing, we would be working together a lot in the evening. And so I'd be, come in and be telling her about something, and she would go, dude, so-and-so, so-and-so. And I'm like,
huh?
And that, I remember having that conversation with her, and I laughed when she said that.
What'd
and I
she
had
say?
to stop her.
Dude. Yeah, right.
It was just me and her. And I laughed when she said that.
Yeah.
And I had to stop her and say, because I had recently seen something on TV or somewhere where there was like 3 or 4 women. They might have been girls, but still, it was all females. And it was all, dude, this, that, and the other. I'm like, there's no men here.
Aye.
And a dude, in my mind,
Is
call me as old as a dinosaur, is a guy.
That's right. Yeah.
But it was just me and her, and we're talking, and it was an expression. Dudes, and I'm like, there's no dudes here. And she laughed. Yeah, this is the same girl I think I was telling you.
Right.
It was so funny to me. I was talking to her about whatever it was, mentioning that I went to charm school, and she said, you went to charm school?
Yes, that one.
That girl. The
that
same one
the
that
bitch.
was in that dancing video.
Yeah.
Like, she was a sweet girl, like 22, 23 years old, whatever.
Right.
And she was not trying to be offensive. I know she wasn't. I know in my heart.
No.
But you went to charm school? I'm like, yeah, believe it or not, I went to charm school.
You?
But, dude, I'm like,
dude, oh no.
there's no women, there's no guys. It's just us women here talking.
Yeah.
And it's a dude. But, that's the lingo that the children, of our age use for everybody.
Yeah.
So, circling back
Yeah.
about with your sister, guys, da 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 da.
Yeah.
It might be just a room full of or a couple of women, but it's just guys.
Right. Yeah. And that's normal, isn't it? Yeah.
Here it is. You know,
Yeah.
guys.
Hey guys.
You
Yeah.
know, hey
Yeah.
guys, whatever.
It was so way out then. So,
Mhm.
and there is you won't believe this, but initially, with
Where's
with
my
an
glass
awful
of wine?
lot of people in England, I don't know about elsewhere, the American accents can sound bloody awful. In that,
Well, they do, and it's regional too.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Depending on where you are
It's just-
in this country.
Yeah,
In this continental part of the
it's like
planet.
It's like the Oxford English. It's the same to us. I'm speaking English as far as I know
Mhm.
in a relatively without a great dialect. People will tell me there is a northern dialect in there, but Oxford English is speaking so proper.
Mhm.
And when you talk like this regularly, yeah,
And I can tell that's that
that's right.
that proper
That's right,
English.
proper. Yes,
Mhm.
old girl,
Mhm.
And the point is, though, they've been brought up to speak this way.
Yeah.
There's no fault in them at all for speaking this way, but it automatically gets you engaged. You think, oh, God, this snob, this superior bastard.
Yeah, well,
You know?
it does, yeah. But I mean, for a lot of us, most of us, I would say in this country, that's all we do here because if we happen to watch a movie,
Ah, that's true.
that's it.
Yes, it
And
is.
of course, they're speaking the most proper English
Usually, yeah.
in a movie that's distributed in this country.
Yes, yeah. It must be very difficult for you to pick up different dialects,
Oh,
English
God.
dialects. I know
It's difficult for us to pick up dialects from the South.
Yeah, yes.
Or from even the northeastern part of the country,
You're
New England,
America.
New England,
Yeah.
because and even New York, because they'll say things. I'm trying to think of a dialect. I from watching television in the northeastern part of the northeastern, is that right? Yeah, like around New England, which obviously where it got its name from. People coming from England, and so there's the park
What?
for a park,
Oh, park.
park,
Park.
nor'easter. Now, to me, that's a different thing, but there's a whole different dialect in that section of the country
Really? Right.
that's almost, I guess the analogy in my mind would be like someone speaking Cockney English.
Yes.
Someone who was born and raised in that section
Yes.
of the country,
Yes.
you almost can't understand them.
No.
I've seen interviews about, I don't know, the Loch Ness Monster or something.
Yeah.
Well, they're interviewing people that live in around, I don't even know where that is, Nova Scotia, up around there. You almost can't understand what they're saying. But they were born and raised in this country, but their ancestors came from somewhere else.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so they have a whole nother dialect
Yeah.
in that section of the country,
Yeah.
just as they do in the South.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Now
Yes.
over in the California,
Yeah.
well, it's
Yeah.
California.
More-
It's like saying it's Chinatown.
Really.
It's another kind of a dialect, and even here in Chicago in the Midwest, they say there's a Midwestern / Chicago dialect, and I don't really have it. I don't know, I don't know why, but in this part of the country, there's the D's, dem, and does for these, them, and those.
Where's that?
Here?
Here.
Yeah.
Really?
The
Really?
mayor's much better about it, but he was raised here, and so was his father. And so, in some parts, neighborhoods here in Chicago, you still hear that
Amazing.
Midwestern dialect.
Wow. These.
D's,
Dem.
dem, and does.
Those. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of some of the yous guys. That was something I remember from high school. When I was in high school, I went to school on the southeast side of Chicago, and there were a lot of immigrant families. Like the kids, they were born here, but their parents may have come from somewhere else.
Right.
And so there were Polish, Italian, Spanish, Hispanic, from everywhere, Italian. And they were, over in this section, of the city of Chicago. And I would hear all these different dialects and terms for things that I thought I knew because I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
It was like, damn, this is like almost going to another country.
Sure.
But that's kind of how I learned to recognize different dialects. And, I think that was my first experience with people from other backgrounds, not other countries. Because like I said, those kids were born here.
Right.
But their parents or grandparents
Sure.
may not have been.
Sure. Yeah.
And how to pronounce Italian names. And Polish and whatever else there weren't.
Right.
So that was a good experience. But it was
Really?
one I may not have had,
Right.
if I had let's say, gone and lived with my father in California.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting, isn't it? I'm going to have a glass of water. Come on, dance. Get that on tape.
Ooh, I might have to turn that up a little bit.
Yeah, get it turned up.
This is one of my favorites.
I love dancing.
And I don't do ballroom, but
Oh, I love disco dancing, don't get me wrong.
I like this song. You know what it's, when the heartache is over, I know I won't be missing you.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's true. Where they are.
Listen, I know I'm stronger without you.
Brilliant, isn't she? She writes the lyrics. Sort of like her own.
And it's just like, I can live without you.
Yeah. Hey. Woo.
I can live without you.
As one does. You have to get out more.
I know.
Get out there. Get and enjoy life.
But I can enjoy it in here too. I need to get out more. I
You're a
know.
people person. You're a
I am.
big person. As you know you are.
Yeah. I'll just show you the letter.
This might sound terribly sort of ordinary and what's important to me is people. And I couldn't care a fuck about how they live. Whether they live super smart or all the rest of it. Whether they sort of, hey, this is my life, and if you want to come into my world, you accept me as I am. And it's people that matters. It's people.
It does.
Isn't it?
It
Not. It's not furnishings. It's not, attributes that we've got in material ways and things like that.
Because part of it that I'm realizing more so now is that your background can be whatever it is. But in
That's right.
these days, under these circumstances where people are getting put out of a job overnight like that,
Right.
one day you're on the top of the
Yeah.
hill and the next day you're down the valley.
Absolutely.
And I've been there.
Yeah.
One day I had a great job, making
Yeah.
a bunch of money.
Yeah.
The next day I was out of a job. And I've been out of a real job, a good paying job. That's been for 7 years, for God's sake.
It's awful. I was 8 years out as well. I I used to be at Skegness, which you never met me at, which is a seaside resort. And it was a well-paid job, well paid by everybody else's standard. And what happened? Oh yeah, there was a reorganisation of local government, and I didn't get the top job, which I should. I feel I should, but anyway. And they brought this Wally in from an advertising agency, and he was a right really well.
I remember this incident.
Yeah. And for 2 years,
See if I
I
get my
laboured under
CD
him.
going. I'm listening.
No
I'm right
problem.
here.
I laboured under him for 2 years.
I love the way you say it. I labored under meaning you had to put up with this bullshit.
Oh, it's
for
bullshit.
2
Absolutely.
years.
What a and he spoke as well like an Oxford English as well,
Oh,
would you believe?
Lord.
Oh yeah, right.
So everybody else is ignorant and underneath.
But I caught him up later on, and I'm really pleased to hear about this. I shouldn't have been, because I shouldn't be happy in other people's.
Why not?
Unfortunately,
well, you might know of this. It's called Schadenfreude.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, and sometimes it's good. You know, because sometimes people deserve what they get.
But this clever little shit. Eventually, his wife divorced him.
Well,
You know,
there you go.
and there he was in this perfect setup and all the rest. And this was long after I'd worked with him. And his wife divorced him, and I thought, fucking good for you, mate.
Exactly.
Right. Great.
Sometimes people get what they deserve.
Absolutely, baby. So what I was saying, where did I get to this? I've lost my track now. Oh yeah, about 8 years out of work.
Yeah.
So I got headhunted, the only time in my life, by this company that had this long pier, and at the end of it was a 750-seater theatre, and on the way to that, there was all kinds of things. There was cabaret bars, there was ordinary bars, there was all these amusement machines and different levels, and they had underneath they had businesses which they let off to all sorts of people. And what they'd done, they created a 1,000-seater nightclub.
1,000-seater nightclub.
Yeah,
for God's
right,
sake.
okay.
All right.
And that was the time when nightclubs were going throughout the UK, big nightclubs, were going on very well. They were opening all over the country. And we had, and I was headhunted to be the second in command. I was the general manager designate, which means that you're the next one down, right? And when the general manager moves on to something else, you get the general manager's job. And had about 90 people underneath me, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, no kidding, baby. And I had particular responsibility for publicity and PR, but I also had management responsibility for the whole lot, for the theatre, for the nightclub, for the bars, for everything. And for 6 months, I worked my bollocks off, 100 hours a week, okay, all hours at God's sense. And then the company collapsed. Yeah, right, because they'd got the timing of the nightclub wrong.
Yeah.
And they'd brought in some venture capital from one of these financial companies, and they had about 2/3 of the money in it. And because they didn't get the liquidity, they weren't getting the income back as much as quickly as they wanted. They called the tune, and the whole thing collapsed, which meant the whole company, which had been trading successfully for at least 40 years, just collapsed. Everybody out of work, even the general manager, right? And I was out of work. And so from then until I got the Beverley job, that was 8 years. And so about the same time as you. And I went through some real shitty jobs, right? At real shitty wages too. You know?
That's what I'm dealing with now.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, well, it gets me out of the house.
But you keep your eye open and you keep going the way you're going, hopefully, then you'll reproduce what I did. And that was eventually just dovetailed into a job which fitted everything that I'd done, and my maturity and everything. And then I had the best years of my life after that. 12 years with Beverly.
Well, you know, and I'm thinking,
Well, you
now
don't
that
know.
my mind's a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tina Turner.
Oh, I love her. I love her. Oh, baby. Yeah. Da da da. It's great, isn't she?
She's gonna be here. I think it's next month.
Oh, you're joking.
I think I mentioned it to you. I heard about it. And it's like, oh, I can't afford those tickets.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Should be
well, I saw
frustrating.
her. You know, it was a moment kind of a thing. It's like I saw her back in November of 2000,
Yeah.
and at that point, she was like, "This is my I'm no longer doing any more tours,
Yeah.
except for this year or whatever she was doing."
Yeah.
And so one of her last ones was in Las Vegas, and you know, this is back when I could afford to go visit my mom.
Yeah.
But
You can dance if you want to, baby.
don't get me started.
Ha ha.
But
You like dancing? Great.
So-
We're into this.
so I went out there, got my mom to go with me to the concert. My mom was so not musically inclined, it's ridiculous. But she agreed to come with me. And so we went, you know, I went to Vegas and we went to the concert, and we didn't have great seats. They were up in the balcony somewhere, but
Yeah.
they were okay. We weren't
Yeah.
like, you know, put your hand up and you're touching the roof or
Yeah.
anything. So we had some fairly decent seats. And one of the things I remember was that there we were in these, you know, in a stadium kind of seats, me and Mom. And so Tina comes on and she's rocking the place.
Yeah.
And like I said, my mother has no rhythm, no sense of music or anything else.
Neither is Tina Turner in terms of dancing. She has this vernacular.
She's not as bad as Anita Baker, okay?
It is. Really?
Anita Baker is worse. I've seen her in
Really?
concert. Oh,
Yeah.
a lot worse. A lot worse. But anyhow, so at some point, you know, during the concert, Tina's out there, and I see Mom patting a foot,
Yeah.
you know, and getting
Yeah.
a little shoulder thing
Yeah.
going. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
That was one of those nights, those experiences. Like I said, you remember, like this was 8 years ago now. You know, it was like, and I didn't even think she wanted to go. But when I mentioned it to you know, I'm talking about my mother, to go, she said, "Oh, I always admired her, and yes, but you know, yeah, let's do that." And I was like, "Really?
Great. Good on you, Mom.
Great," because she's saying this is the last big concert I'll ever do, and then here it is, 8 years later. You know, and Tina's like, "Okay, I guess I'm doing a concert at the Allstate Arena or what."
Really?
I was like,
Brilliant.
I'd like to see her, but you know, it's like I can't afford those tickets, and
We're talking about $100. I like that.
over $100,
Over $100.
125, 150, at least.
I paid about £50. I paid £50. Never mind about. Oh, I can't remember how many years ago. When it was supposed to be her last concert, when she was
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the year 2000. She started off the beginning of the year. This is my last
That's right.
touring around the
That's
country
right.
thing.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, doing these big
Yeah.
concerts with fireworks and
Yeah.
all this other mess.
Yeah.
2000 was going to be her last year
It
of
was.
doing that stuff.
You're right.
And so by the time I saw her, it was November of that year.
All right.
It's like, oh my God, I have to see this woman.
That must have been her last series of concerts.
And when I was looking around for, you know, my videotapes and what
Yeah.
have you of me,
Yeah.
I found I have one in there for when she was doing the concert at Wembley, which must have been the one you were at.
No, I was at Sheffield, which is at north of England. She went to Sheffield. Yeah.
Well, that one's not on tape, because what I have, well, not on a tape that
Right.
I have, but so I have her at Wembley, and what's the other one? Maybe in Las Vegas or somewhere.
Right.
Because I have two. And after my father died, I was real surprised to find in his things he had a tape of her from
Really?
somewhere.
Really?
And it was kind of things like, who knew that?
Yeah.
You know, was a big Tina Turner fan. It was like very cool. I wasn't upset or anything.
No,
It was
no,
like,
no,
but who knew? It's one of those things like a small thing you find out about your parents after that.
After we're gone.
And you're like, what?
I know. We only know half of it, don't we?
Oh,
We only know half of it.
less than.
Yeah.
Because after he died, my half sister, she also, I'm pretty sure I remember her saying, she found out porno tapes, everything. Okay, I don't want to hear any more about it.
Yeah.
I just really don't want to go there right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm stunned to find the Tina Turner tape, and that he was one of her favorite artists, one of his favorite artists. So, but it's like, but people are people, and it's like, okay, of course, I only know my father from the aspect of being a dad.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't
As
know
I've
it.
gotten older, I realize he gets to have another whole life if he wants. Not if he wants to. He did because it was a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was his business.
Yeah.
He didn't plan to die when he did.
That's right.
Because if he was planning it out, maybe he would have put all this stuff, this whatever. But it's like, but the thing is that, it makes you realize he had a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody has another life beyond what you know that they have.
Yeah.
And they get to have it. It's not a bad thing.
That's right.
Not at all.
That's right.
So I didn't think badly of my father finding out he had porno tapes or whatever. That was his deal.
Right. You forget that.
He just, it wasn't in him to be a father full-time 24/7. He was a man, for God's sake.
Absolutely.
And I understand and realize and accept that.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's other people on the planet that aren't there yet that can't accept that, oh my God. Not anything deep, but like my father was a human being, and that he, had another aspect to his personality but wasn't my dad.
Right. Yeah,
How
it's having
selfish
this.
can you be, for Christ's sake?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Are you about to dance too? Oh my God.
Look at this, I'm here. Hey, look at this, kiddo.
Is it raining or is it just
Rain,
foggy?
it's misty.
I hate
Time
the
to
mist. I hate the mist and I hate the fog. I like sunshine and
Me
clear
too.
skies.
Me too.
That's what I like.
And warmth.
Well, yes, I love that, but here we are in almost the middle of September, and so I know that here in Chicago.
Yeah. We had some great days when I was here.
Oh Lord,
It doesn't
weren't
matter
they
if it
wonderful?
pisses down between now and when I go, really.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Since you mentioned that, let me throw this out here. By the time you're leaving on Tuesday,
16th?
Tuesday night, yeah,
Tuesday night.
it's supposed to be clear weather for the next 5 days.
Oh,
So that's going to be fine for your flying,
yes. But
But that's it. So you won't have to be maybe sitting in the airport,
Right.
and have your flight canceled and all that
Right.
stuff. The weather is supposed to get better starting tomorrow,
Really?
and then by Tuesday,
Yeah.
sunny for the next 5 days. So no flight delays, no problems flying back
Great.
east, because usually our weather travels to the east. And so
Yes.
you'll be a bit ahead of that.
Good.
And so for the next few days after Tuesday, wonderful, great finds.
Great
You won't
stuff.
be here in Chicago to enjoy
Da,
it,
da, 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 da.
but it'll be great for flying
Yeah.
and traveling.
That's right.
No flooded out train.
Hey, man. Hallelujah.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.